Good morning. In my last class, I was talking about the structure of a power system. There, I was discussing about the generating station, transmission lines, distribution lines, and power utilization. And also, I was talking about the components, the major components which are connected in our power system. Okay. Now, in this lecture, in this class, I want to cover variable load, then I want to cover load curve, and then after load duration curve. Okay. So, coming to our topic, that is our variable load. Now, when we are coming to discuss about variable load, we know that the behavior of consumer is always uncertain. Okay, so obviously, what is our purpose of generation of electrical energy and transmission and distribution? To fulfill the demand of consumer who are consuming electrical energy. Okay, but we know that the behavior of consumer is always uncertain. Okay, because of that the demand of consumer is always uncertain. So when I am talking about the variable load, so we can understand the variable load as that is the variation of load from time to time due to uncertain demand of consumer, and this thing is known as variable load in power station. Okay, so we know that the power station is designed to meet the load requirement of the consumers. Okay, and the load on the station from a standpoint of equipment needed and operating routine, and that would be one of constant magnitude and steady duration. Okay, however, such a steady load on the station is never realized in actual practice. Okay, and the consumer requirement, or the consumer require their small or large block of power in accordance with the demand of their activities or their behavior. Okay, thus the load demand of the consumer is changing or is different from time to time when you are analyzing the behavior of different consumers. So on power station, okay, because of this nature of, or with this fluctuating nature of the consumer, we are getting the variable load on our power system. Okay, so now I want to talk about the effects because of the variable load. What are the effects produced? Okay, or what are the effects of a variable load on our power station? Okay, so our first point we can discuss here, that when the load is varying, okay, because of the consumer's nature or because of the behavior of the consumer, when the load is varying, and obviously this is always time to time if you are analyzing the load, then it is always vary. Okay, and because of that, that is the effect produced on power station, which is, I can tell, need of additional equipments. So because of the variable load, we need some additional equipments. So this is the effect, first effect, and the next effect is increase in production cost also. Okay, so first I want to discuss what is need of additional equipment. What are the equipments we added there because of the variable load? Now, to understand the additional equipment, let us assume a steam power plant. Okay, let us assume a steam power plant. Let us assume a steam power plant. Okay, and that power plant is there air, coal, and water are the raw materials. What are the raw materials? Air, coal and water. Okay, so these are the raw materials which are used or which are required to or which are required in our power station, and these are varying corresponding to the demand. So for instance, if the power demand on the plant increases, for example, because of the load variation, for example, I am considering here that for instance, if the power demand if the power demand increases, if the power demand increases, then it must be followed by the increased flow of coal. Okay, so the flow of coal should be increased, okay, because of the additional demand, and also air and water of the boiler will be also increase in order to meet the increased demand, and also and also and also and also and also the air and water will also increase to fulfill the additional demand. Okay, getting? Therefore, additional equipment has to be installed to accomplish this job. As a matter of fact, in a modern power plant, there is much equipment devoted entirely to adjust the rates of supply of raw materials in accordance with the power demand made on the power plant. Now, I want to discuss about increase in production cost. Okay, increase in production cost. Okay, so due to the variable load, in power plants, here the cost of the production will be the cost of production of electrical energy will be increased. Okay, for example, for an alternator which operates at a maximum efficiency, near its rated capacity, if a single alternator is used, it will have poor efficiency during periods of light load on the plant. Okay, so on light loads, we may have use single alternator to fulfill the energy demand, so the efficiency will be poor. So the efficiency will be poor. Okay, when the load is light, in power plant, so therefore in actual practice a number of alternators of different capacities are installed, so that the most of the alternators can be operated at nearly full load capacity. So we have to install different capacity, different capacity of alternators. Alternators to what operated to for the operation of near full load. Okay, near full load. Okay, so that means the use of number of generating units increases the initial cost. Okay, that means the initial cost per kilowatt of the plant capacity will be increased. Okay, and this leads to increase the production cost also, and which leads to increase the production cost of electrical energy also. Okay, now coming to the topic, that is load curves. Okay, here we have to discuss about load curve. So the load curve is nothing but that is the variation of load, okay, on the power station with respect to time. Okay, and this is called load curve. Okay, and we know that the load on power station is not constant, and it is varies from time to time when I was talking about the variable load. Okay, and this load variation during the whole day, that is within the 24 hour, are recorded half hourly or hourly basis. Okay, and are plotted against the time on the graph. Okay, and this curve, okay, is obtained when I'm talking about the load curves. It may be daily load curve, monthly load curve, or yearly load curve. So when I'm talking about the loads variation during the whole day, that is within 24 hours, okay, then that is called daily load curve. Okay, so when we are considering, when we are plotting the load versus time. Okay, the load with respect to time. Okay, with respect to time for a 24-hour duration, for a day, or that is 24 hours up to 24 hours duration, which is recorded half hourly or hourly basis, is called what? Daily load curve. Is called our daily load curve. Okay, it's called our daily load curve. Okay, similarly, when I am talking about our monthly load curve, okay, so the monthly load curve, it can be obtained from daily load curves of the month. Okay, this load curve can be obtained from daily load curves daily load curves of a month. Okay, of a month. And for these purposes, average value of power over a month at different times of day are calculated and they are plotted on the graph. Okay, and the monthly load curve is generally used to fix the rate of energy. Okay, normally the monthly load curve is monthly load curves are used to fix the rates of energy. Okay, now coming to yearly load curve. Okay, coming to yearly load curve. So yearly load curve is normally obtained by considering the monthly load curves of a particular year. So this yearly load curve is obtained by considering the monthly load curves of a particular year. Okay, and this yearly load curve is generally used to determine yearly load curve is used to determine the annual load factor, okay, whereas the monthly load curve is used to fix the rate of energy. Okay, now let us plot a daily load curve. Okay, roughly I can plot here a daily load curve. Okay, so this is our hour, which is it may start from midnight. Okay, or it will start from midnight. Okay, and it is up to again midnight, and this is our noon. Okay, so it may be vary with 2, 4, okay, till 12. Again it may be this is noon, then 2 p.m, 4 p.m, and like that it is up to midnight 12. Okay, so this is for this axis I've shown for hours. Similarly, this axis I am showing for load in megawatt. Load in megawatt. The unit of load is in megawatt, and it may be 2 megawatt, it may be 2 megawatt, it may be 4 megawatt, or maybe 6 megawatt, maybe 8 megawatt, or maybe like that. Now suppose here it is 2 megawatt. Now suppose I want to plot, okay, the load curve. So I will draw the load curve with respect to hourly basis, or here I can I have shown you for within the gap is for 2 hours. Okay, So and I can record at the data with respect to hourly basis or half hourly basis, or accordingly I told you when I have to plot a monthly load curve how to plot. So according to data, now I want to plot a daily load curve for a particular day. So it may be the load curve may be vary, okay, according to the loads connected by the consumer, okay. So it may be vary in this way, or like that, okay. So it may be come to again this position. So the point from this position I have started again this point, okay. So I have shown the load curve, okay, for a particular day. So the load may be vary based upon our using, okay, or based upon our connected load, or based upon our live connected load, and based upon our consumer, okay, and based upon the consumer's consumption, okay, on a particular day. So according to the recorded data, so this is the plot of daily load curve. I think you have understood now what is daily load curve. Similarly, you can draw the monthly load curve and also yearly load curve, okay, by considering the daily load curve analysis, okay. Now some important points I can discuss here. Some important points I can discuss here, that the daily load curve shows the variation of load on the power station, okay. When I want to talk about the daily load curve, okay, I can tell you the daily load curve shows the variation, daily load curve shows the variation of load, okay, on the power station, during different hours of the day, different hours of the day, okay. Similarly, another point can be the important point, that is the area under daily load curve. The area under daily load curve gives the number of units, generated in the day, generated in the particular day, okay. Similarly, the highest point of the daily load curve, the highest point, okay, of the daily load curve, okay, the highest point of the daily load curve represents the maximum demand, is the maximum demand of the day, maximum demand of the day, okay, clear. And similarly, the next important point I can tell here, on due to load curve, the area under daily load curve, okay, the area under daily load curve divided by divided by okay, the total number of hours divided by the total number of hours, the total number of hours, okay, gives the average load, gives the average load, which is, I can write, the average load is that is area under daily load curve in kilowatt hour divided by 24 hours. Okay. Similarly, suppose I want to talk about the load factor, that is the ratio of the load factor is nothing but that is our, okay, the ratio of area under the load curve to the total area of rectangle in which, okay, it is contained gives the load factor. Okay, so the load factor may be, that is our average load divided by maximum demand okay. So if I want to multiply 24 to numerator and denominator, so it will become what the load factor will be, I can write, that is the area under daily load curve in kilowatt hour, okay, divided by the total area, okay, in which are the total area of rectangle in which the load curve is contained, in which the load curve is contained. Okay, so these are the important terms. Again, another important term I can tell, that is the load curve helps, okay, the load curve helps in selecting the size, and the number of generating units and the number of generating units which should be in operation. Then the next term, it may be the next important it may be the load curve helps in preparing the operation, in preparing the operation schedule of the station. Schedule of the power station. Okay, now I want to discuss about some important terms and factors. Okay, so that is I can talk about here our connected load. Okay, our connected load. Okay, so the connected load is the important factors are or important terms and factors are, it may be connected load, or it may be maximum demand, then it may be demand factor, then it may be average load. Already we have talked about these things. Then it may be load factor. These things also we have discussed now. Then it may be diversity factor. Then it may be plant capacity factor. Then plant use factor. So these are the important terms and factors which are very important when you are analyzing the load curves. Okay, so if I want to talk about our connected load, what is connected load? That is, this is the continuous rating of all equipments which are connected to the supply system. This is the connected load. So connected load is nothing but this is the sum of these are the sum of continuous ratings okay, of all the equipments whether they are in operation or it may not be in operation. Okay, that means the equipment may be in switching mode or switching on position, or it may be in switching off position. So but when we are talking about the connected load, it is the sum of continuous ratings of all the equipments connected to the supply system. Okay, so this is our connected load. Okay, similarly, when I am coming to discuss our maximum demand, okay, if I want to talking about our maximum demand, okay, so the maximum demand is nothing but that is our greatest demand of load on the power station during a given period. So it is the maximum demand is nothing but it is the greatest demand. It is the greatest demand of load on power station during a period. Okay, similarly, so next if I want to talk about our demand factor, okay, I can talk about our demand factor now. Demand factor, okay, the demand factor is nothing but that is our maximum demand, okay, that is the maximum demand. Demand factor is the ratio of maximum demand on power station to the connected load. Okay, now suppose I want to talk about, for example, now suppose the connected load is 100 megawatt on a power system. Suppose the connected load is 100 megawatt, and suppose the maximum demand on a power station is, and suppose the maximum demand on a power station is power station is 80 megawatt. So the demand factor will be it is the ratio of what? Maximum demand is what? That is our 80 megawatt divided by 100 megawatt. So it will be 0.8. Okay. So that means the knowledge of demand factor is determining the capacity of the plant equipment. Okay. Now we have already when I am coming to average load, I think average load already we have discussed, that is our what area under daily load curve, okay, to the 24 hours. So that means load occurring on the power station in a given period. So in general, suppose I want to talk about the average load in general, so I can tell the load occurring or the average load occurring on the power station, okay, in a given period is known as average load. The average load, okay, average loads occurring on the power station in a given period, okay, it may be for day, it may be for the month, or it may be for the year, okay, what may be the duration. So the average load occurring on the power station in a given period is known as average load or average demand. It can be also called as average demand. Okay. Now if it is daily average load, I can write it is the number of units in kilowatt hour generated per day to 24 hour. Similarly, if I want to plot or if I want to find the monthly average load, okay, if I want to find the monthly average load, I can write that is the number of units in kilowatt hour is generated in a month divided by what is the number of hours in a month. We have to keep in denominator to number of hours in a month. Okay. So similarly, if I want to find the yearly average load, okay, I can write the number of units in kilowatt hour generated in a year to the number of hours in a year. Okay, it may be, and that is the number of hours in a year is what? I can directly write here 8760 hours. Okay, so now coming to load factor. Now coming to load factor. So when I am coming to load factor, I can write it is the ratio of average load to the maximum demand. We know it. So load factor is what? It is average demand average demand or average load to maximum demand. Okay, so in form of t hours, suppose I have to write, so I have to multiply time t in numerator and also with time t in denominator. Then I can write the load factor may be written as units. When average load is multiplied by the time, it may be units generated in t hours, okay, divided by maximum demand into t hours. Okay, so this is our load factor. Now coming to diversity factor. So when I am coming to talk about the diversity factor, I can write diversity factor is the ratio of sum of individual maximum demand to the maximum demand on a power station. Okay, so it can be written as diversity factor is equal to sum of individual maximum demand divided by maximum demand, okay, on a power station. Clear? So why I am telling individual maximum demand is not similar to maximum demand, because according to the, suppose I want to talk about a daily load curve. So if I want to talk about the maximum demand on power station, then that may be on a particular time the maximum demand may be produced at a particular time, but that does not mean that every customer or every consumer who are consuming the electricity, they are at the same moment of the maximum demand, which is on power station. At the same moment, all the consumers are in maximum demand. Okay, so that means there may be some fluctuation in the maximum demand of individual consumers. So obviously, when we are calculating the diversity factor, okay, so obviously we have to add the individual maximum demands. Then with respect to that, I have to take the maximum demand in power station. So obviously when we will calculate the diversity factor, okay, so the diversity factor will be always greater than 1, as the individual demands, when we will add the individual maximum demand, it will be greater than the maximum demand on power station always. Okay, so if that means when I am taking the sum of individual maximum demand, so it will be always greater than the to the maximum demand on power station. So the diversity factor will be always come greater than 1. Now coming to plant capacity factor. Okay, now coming to plant capacity factor. Now coming to plant capacity factor. Okay, so when I am talking about our plant capacity factor, so this is nothing but that is the ratio of actual energy produced to the maximum energy that could have been produced. So plant capacity factor, that is, I can write this is the ratio of, or it is equal to actual energy generated, again I am writing plant capacity factor, which is equal to actual energy produced with respect to maximum energy that could have been produced, that could have been produced in a power station. So when I'll multiply the numerator of the plant capacity factor and denominator of the plant capacity factor with respect to time, that means time t is a duration, then I can write the plant capacity factor as by multiplying time, a duration of time or time in numerator and or a time period to the numerator and the denominator of the plant capacity factor, then it will be written as average demand divided by plant capacity. Average demand by plant capacity. Okay. So obviously, what is plant capacity? That means what is the maximum energy that could be produced into the time duration. So that is the maximum energy that could be produced in from a power plant. So because of that, when I have to talk about our plant capacity, so we have to multiply the maximum energy that could be produced into the duration of operation or into the duration we are talking about for the calculation of plant capacity. Similarly, suppose I want to talk about our annual plant capacity factor as per our discussion. If I want to talk about our annual plant capacity factor, okay, so I can write here that is the means what total energy consumed or generated in a year. Okay, so that is the annual output in kilowatt hour divided by the plant capacity into number of hours in a year, that is 8760 hours. So this is our plant capacity factor. Now if I want to talk about our reserve capacity, so reserve capacity is nothing but that is our plant capacity which is the maximum value minus the maximum demand. Okay, so this is the reserve capacity of a power plant. Now plant use factor, the next term I have to discuss, that is plant use factor. Okay, the next term is plant use factor. Okay, so it is the ratio of kilowatt hour generated on the product of plant capacity and the number of hours for which the plant was operational. So mathematically I can write that is plant use factor is the station output in kilowatt hour divided by plant capacity into use of hours of use. So this is a plant use factor. So when we are calculating our use factor of the plant, here I am not considering the whole duration. Suppose for a annum or for a year I want to calculate the plant use factor, then that does not mean that we have to, like when I am talking about plant capacity factor, there I have considered the plant capacity into the total number of hours in a year. Okay, when that means when you are calculating the plant capacity factor, we are taking the ratio of annual kilowatt output, kilowatt hour output divided by plant capacity into the number of hours in a year. But here we have to not consider, when we are considering plant use factor, okay, for this factor calculation, obviously you have to take the total output in kilowatt hour of a particular duration, but we don't want to consider the whole number of hours in a duration. Here we have to consider the hours of use into plant capacity at the on the denominator of the factor. Okay, so this is our plant use factor. So for example, you can understand, for example, suppose the installed capacity is 20 megawatt. Suppose the installed capacity of a power plant is 20 megawatt and the annual output is suppose 7.35 into 10 to the power 6 kilowatt hour. So this is the output which is produced from the plant in an annum. Now, but the operation duration in a year, okay, but the operation hours in a year is, it is given the operation hours in a year is, it is given 2190 hours. Okay, this is not 8760 hours per year. So if the operation hours is 2190 hours, then when you have to calculate the plant use factor, we have to consider 2190 hours only. Okay, so when we will calculate the plant use factor as per the data, we can write what is the plant output, that is 7.35 into 10 to the power 6, okay, kilowatt hour, divided by what is the installed capacity, what is the plant capacity it is given, that is 20 megawatt. So I can write 20 into 10 to the power 3, that is the installed capacity, into the number of hours used, that is 2190 hours. I have not written here the total hours in a year, that is 8760 hours. Here I have written the total hours the power plant is in operation. Okay, total number of hours the plant was in operation, that is 2190. So the answer will be 0.167, that means 16.7 percentage. 16.7 percentage were in percentage form. If I am writing, so that is our 16.7 percentage is the plant use factor. Okay, so I think I have to stop here. Okay, in my next class I will discuss about the load duration curve. Okay, and after plotting the load duration curve, we can identify or we can differentiate between the load duration curve and the load curve. Then after I will talk about different types of loads in our power system, that will be discussed in our next class. Okay, so I think I will stop here. Thank you very much.